That controversy emerged from the remark, I think 2-3 days back, of a BJP MP, Mr. Nishikant Dubey, on the role of former Chief Minister of Odisha, Biju Patnaik. Nehru kept him as his consultant or his advisor, or you can say that in this crucial period, in this crucial juncture of the country, Biju Patnaik's help and assistance was sought by Nehru, that you be the link and you facilitate this American assistance. After the war got over, Biju Patnaik also is on record to have suggested that we must create a force. I think what exactly that was named Special Frontier Force, or it is called the Establishment 22, quote unquote. Namaskar, friends. In today's edition of Right Angle, I'd like to share my thought, or rather thoughts on a controversy which to my mind is really overhyped and clearly unavoidable. And what is that controversy? That controversy emerged from the remark, I think 2-3 days back, of a BJP MP, Mr. Nishikant Dubey, on the role of former Chief Minister of Odisha, Biju Patnaik, and that of the then government led by our first Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru in 1962, when China attacked India. Before explaining why I have arrived at this conclusion, let's talk of some basic facts. As you know, China attacked India in October 1962. And it was definitely a clear failure on the part of the then Congress government led by Jawaharlal Nehru, who till then was, or rather had done everything possible that would have really made China happy, like giving up the thing, that offer that came to India those days, that we should become the permanent member of the Security Council. Nehru declined that. No, China is the legitimate government. Let China become. But anyway, that is a different. That is not the only thing. Our acquiring nuclear weapons and getting legitimacy, that was also in very much there, in the sense that Russia had agreed to it, America had agreed to it, still Nehru declined. But then that's a different matter. And his defense minister, then Krishna Menon's very dubious role, and that led subsequently to our debacle in that war. That is a long history. I'm not going into that. But the point is, when China attacked, and particularly they got clear ascendance in the sense that some of the territories in Ladakh, they had come up to Nepal, which now is Arunachal Pradesh. They more or less had occupied that, and then had come very much near the Assam. I think that was the situation then there during the war, and that is particularly the crucial period when obviously for our own national interest to maintain our sovereignty and security, Nehru decided to seek the international help. And when one means international help, that means particularly Western help. As you know, that time Russia and China, they were ideological brothers. So obviously the help could not have come from Russia. The help only could have come from the West. And obviously when one talks of the West, the America was the most important country, and it was leading the Cold War from the side of the West. And what exactly Nehru wrote to, I think he wrote two letters to then American President John F. Kennedy seeking help. And what exactly are they? I think, let me see. Yes, two letters to Kennedy in November. Nehru said that kindly provide us 12 squadrons of all-weather fighters, then 2 squadrons of B-47 bombers immediately, and so that we can fight the Chinese. I think some arms and weapons had come from Britain, but before any of these things really from America could arrive and was in the process of the arrival, what happened? The China subsequently withdrew. The war ended, and particularly that eastern side, that means our Nepal side, Arunachal Pradesh, they did withdraw. I think that happened in November, and all these things that was taking place in October. And while doing this, Nehru relied a lot on then Odisha Chief Minister Biju Patnaik. And as you know, Biju Patnaik arguably is the finest fighter pilot of India so far. His heroic role in rescuing the Indonesian leaders during their War of Independence, and many people do not mention this fact that Biju Patnaik was the one who in the 1948 war, he really flew the first Air Force plane and landed in Kashmir. I mean, he was undoubtedly our one of the finest, arguably perhaps one of the best fighter pilots of the country. And Nehru definitely had a great liking for him. So Nehru kept him as his consultant or his advisor, or you can say that in this crucial period, in this crucial juncture of the country, Biju Patnaik's help and assistance was sought by Nehru, that you be the link and you facilitate this thing, this American assistance. So in a way, Biju Patnaik played that linking role or link role between the government of India and the Americans when we needed this sort of assistance from America. And it so happened that after the war got over, Biju Patnaik also is on record to have suggested that we must create a force. I think what exactly that was named Special Frontier Force, or it is called the Establishment 22, quote unquote. And that force will be composed of the Tibetan refugees and our Indian soldiers, and they subsequently were trained by an Indian general. His name is Mr. Sujan Singh Arvan, or Artan. I really do not know exactly, I may be wrong, but then is Sujan Singh, General Sujan Singh. The point is this, let's not talk of 1962, and the war took place, and historically speaking, China was never our border, it was Tibet that was our border. By that time Dalai Lama had come over to India, and then obviously lots of Tibetan refugees were here in India, and particularly when one wants to protect the country's territories and this thing against the aggression of China, then we must take some remedial measures. And as a part of those remedial measures, these are the things also Mr. Patnaik, suggested. And in the process, of course, people say the CIA came and established, some camps in the Himalayas, and then in Odisha that, a special airport, the Charbatia airport was, established, created. The whole point is that all these things were not, done in their personal capacities. It was actually the need of the hour. It was the need of the hour of the government of, India, right? And involving these Tibetan refugee soldiers, you can't, make a lot of, hype about that, but the fact remains, it is an open secret. You know that when this Galwan episode took place in 2021, they are the Chinese ke saath, it is an open secret that the force that really subsequently fought with the Chinese, whatever you can say, the formal fight or informal fight or this transgression, then this some of them did compose of Tibetans. So it is an open secret. So the same thing, of course, and I think if Mr. Biju Patnaik proposed it, then it is a matter of great foresight that he had that foresight. What he was suggesting then got implemented by this Modi government in 2022 when this Galwan thing took place. Tibetans did fight along with the Indian soldiers, the Chinese. As a foreign policy and strategic analyst, I am saying it emphatically that the Tibetan refugees did fight along some of the Tibetan soldiers, or rather, armed Tibetans did fight along with the Indian force. And if Mr. Biju Patnaik suggested that thing way back in 1962, it is a matter of great pride. What is there to be so much defensive about it? So the point that I am trying to say, given these facts, let's talk of what are its implications, why it happened. Let's come to Mr. Nishikant Dubey. Personally, if you ask me, I have no hesitation even for 10 seconds to say that Mr. Nishikant Dubey is one of the brightest BJP MPs in the Lok Sabha. The way he argues, the way he points out his, during his, speech, and the amount of, homework he does, he is one of the very best BJP MPs, if you ask me. But having said that, what happens is that there is a limit. There is a concept of, timing. And the whole thing is that in the process, you should not be arrogant enough, and then you can't, blindly go ahead and, say things that you feel like, saying. In the sense that, look, the problem with Nishikant Dubey is that as here these days you see this problem with our so-called analysts and chamchas and what that entire so-called left secular ecosystem, which is nothing but fascist according to me in reality, but that's a different matter. This blind opposition to Modi, whatever he does, this hatred for Modi, everything Modi does is wrong and that needs to be condemned. Similarly, unfortunately rather, Nishikant Dubey and likes of him also suffer from this disease as far as their opposition to what Nehru did as the Prime Minister is concerned. As I said that Nehru's China policy was absolutely wrong, and the many things Nehru government has done legitimately then should be criticized, and in fact they must be criticized. But some of the things he also has done the right thing. And as I said, in 1962, what Mr. Nehru did, and in the process he involved Mr. Biju Patnaik, nothing was wrong in that. How the hell you criticize Nehru for this, what he did, that he sought the American help. And you are seeking American help when China was attacking you. And even today China is our principal adversary, like our former defense minister, late defense minister George Fernandez, during Vajpayee's time as prime minister, had said, for posterity, I think that comment always will remain, valid, and at least so far it is valid. And even, personally I have written quite a lot on this. All told, as far as India is concerned, its principal adversary in your global environment, if I take, or rather geopolitics as a whole, will be taken into account, is China, and China always will remain as your principal adversary. It is not Pakistan. So the point is that when to deal with this principal adversary, you take some steps and you do something, and you do seek America's help, and something that Nehru did is something that must be commended, not condemned. Nishikant Dubey, if he thinks that by saying this he was exposing Nehru, then that is what he said subsequently. I was exposing Nehru. Exposing for what? You exposed Nehru for the wrong decisions he has taken, or he had taken. But you have to appreciate, or you have to commend Nehru if he took a very sensible and right decision that time. And 1962, seeking the American assistance and help was a commendable decision on the part of the Nehru government. And if Mr. Biju Patnaik facilitated that or played an important role, he also must be equally commended. So, Mr. Dubey here is no wrong, however brilliant he may be. But on this particular thing, it is like, बैल मुझे मार. वो निशिकांत दुबे का प्रॉब्लम यही है, बैल मुझे मार, ये जो कर दिया. Nothing wrong in what Nehru did here in this particular case. So that is about Mr. Dubey. But what about the reactions? The reactions immediately was that there is a BJD MP, Mr. Sasmit Patra. He has quit from a parliamentary committee that is incidentally headed by Mr. Dubey. And then the Odisha government and Odisha Assembly yesterday also had a long session on this, condemning Mr. Dubey, and even some BJP government there and some BJP ministers, Mr. Harichandan, and even I think Mr. Baijayanth Panda, the MP who happens to be BJP Vice President, is also saying this is not done, this is wrong. Some people say it is a personal opinion. I personally think it also is a very wrong reaction. I think I said something, why the Odisha government and these people have reacted like this. They said, after all, it is a political thing. And my point is that they are absolutely wrong. In my humble opinion, if you are talking of, scoring political, points, then your reaction, just to say that, that we are proud of Biju Patnaik did this, did that. If in the process you are scoring, and the Nishikant Dubey must be condemned and he must be seeking an apology. If you are, scoring, say, 50 or 60 or 70 points out of 100, I think you would have, scored 100 out of 100. And I think this is what my point to our BJP friends and the BJP governments is this. Or for that matter, the BJD people, including the former Chief Minister Naveen Patnaik, Mr. Biju Patnaik's son, is this. You would have scored 100 out of 100 if you would have said, Mr. Nishikant Dubey, whatever you did, though this timing was extremely odd, but at least you pointed some of the facts, what happened in 1962. And by pointing this, you have given us an opportunity to say how the entire Odisha that way is grateful to you. is grateful to you that you have highlighted some things which is a matter of extreme pride for not only in the whole Odisha and for the whole India. The great role that Mr. Biju Patnaik, played. We are, proud of him. Thank you very much for reminding that. If he would have answered like that, then I think he would have, scored 100 out of 100 instead of reacting. These these are very, I should use that strong word. I think these are all childish reactions. The way the government of Odisha and these BJP, BJD MPs have behaved or have answered, these are childish reactions to an absolutely stupid decision on the part of Mr. Nishikant Dubey in pointing that thing out in his hatred, blind hatred for Nehru. Of course, Nishikant Dubey has not said that Biju Patnaik to give the so-called use the phrase that to give the devil his due. Nishikant Dubey has never said that in that thing. I have said I have gone through his statement. He never has said that Mr. Biju Patnaik is a CIA agent. I think this is a concoction, when these people, react like that. He said that he was a link, which was the case. But I think that is precisely a matter of great pride on the part of Biju Patnaik and his innumerable, supporters. And he's an, as I said, he's an immortal, personality. And the entire Odisha government, on behalf of the people of Odisha, should have thanked in that way Mr. Nishikant Dubey, reminding us what a great patriot Mr. Biju Patnaik was. I think let me stop here. Thank you. Namaskar.